Hey, Natsu here. Today I want to do a new what if. It is from, one of the three what ifs that I lost in a notebook for, so I'm basically just going to redo it completely. So, this what if is called What If Deku Had an Omega Stone. Only Zerg took my idea after I told him about it and used it in his Intelligent Deku. I'm going to use them on a Deku that does not have a quirk, and you will see what happens. What I can say about the stones is that they are alive, they come from extremely far away in the universe, and the more you age, the more you have them long in you, the more powerful you're going to get. You still need to train to augment your power, but still. So, how I am going to do this? Deku is born the exact same way as in the original. This time there is a difference. He still wants to be a hero, like All Might, but he also wanted to help people in other ways. This Deku, um, while being young, wanted to help people more than just saving them normally, like a hero does, and then bring them to like hospital and place like that. He wanted to help them and be the best at, basically, if there's no medic around, be able to help them also in that. He thought that if he had any of his parents' quirk, that wouldn't be a good quirk for that. So he might as well try to find a way to basically learn to, be a medic or a doctor or something like that. So while being young, he just basically stayed the same and thought, I want to see what my quirk is before I do anything. And when he's 4 and that he gets told that he will not have a quirk, he isn't that devastated. Because, yes, that means he cannot be a hero, but that doesn't mean he cannot be a doctor. So instead of being depressed and letting people bully him, he still trains he trains a bit, but he also tries to learn as much as possible about the human anatomy to later become a doctor instead of a hero. He still had the idea of being a hero in mind, so he trains to augment his strength, stamina, and stuff like that, but only because he never gave up this time. He thinks he cannot be a hero, but he doesn't give up for that. So, for multiple years, basically, people tried to bully him, Bakugo mostly, but he doesn't let it get to him. Actually, he trains a lot, and because of all that he does for looking at the human anatomy to learn how to be a doctor, he found pressure points and stuff like that, which basically when people attack him, he's kind of he's stronger than what normally kids are. Think more rationally than a normal kid because he just thinks of one goal, two, become stronger and become a doctor. So for now, he's still the idea of being a hero is still in his head, but in the back. So Deku, after a bit, people stopped harassing him and bullying him because they saw that, yeah, he just doesn't care. When they try to bully him because he's quirkless, he just says, "Well, I don't care. I'll just become a doctor. That won't that won't be a problem for anyone, and I might help heroes." In fact, even Bakugo that hates how he does it is still impressed because, yeah, he didn't give up. All he did is change what he was going to be, which does bug Bakugo a bit, but he is happy that the quirkless guy doesn't want to be a hero because it would kill him, literally. They're still young, so they still try to bully him, but they do it less often. Until he's 10. When he's 10, he is already basically more intelligent than most people. Well, most kid his age, simply because in his free times he train at the same time that he um read every book that he can, learn everything that he can. His mom did buy him since how they called? Well, basically dolls that have the exact anatomy inside of the human body. She basically bought that for him, as well as buying books over books and continuously to help him learn. And at the age of 10, something happens. He was sent for a while to a place to basically look at his intelligence, to see at what level he should be in school. And while while going there, um, basically what he saw, well, no, not what he saw, but what the people that passed him the test. Sorry about that. Sorry, my voice kind of cracked. Um, Basically, those that made him pass the test saw that his intelligence was that of someone that should be 2 grades higher than him. They asked him if he wanted to go higher or if he wanted to stay where he was right now, since higher could help him advance a lot, but he actually wanted to stay there since he was quirkless, which they asked, "Wait, you're quirkless? You don't have an intelligence quirk?" Because basically they just thought that, which did bug Izuku a bit, but not that much. So when he left there, he basically was going to just walk home or take the train, but he decided to take a shortcut to just walk all the way, which will augment the time. But while doing that, he found, well, he heard on the news that morning that a stone fell, well, that some small meteorite passed near Earth's orbit, and that some might have fallen through the atmosphere to Japan, but they might have burned through the entry. Izuku basically just thought that, yeah, if they were small, they just would have burned off. And while going in the shortcut, which was basically passing through out of the city basically, where nobody's basically around, and he sees a small crater. All he thought was, oh, so one might have actually passed. Hey, that would be fun to have a meteorite part piece in my room. Those are rare. So he goes to check it out, which when he check it out, he basically sees piece of rocks and three different gems of three different colors. A green, a red, and a blue. Izuku just thinks, whoa, those must have been in the meteorite. Why are they so round? Well, basically they're kind of, they look polished a bit. He basically grabs them as well as one of the piece of the meteorite, and when picking the green one, he just heard "put me to your chest," as well as feeling warmth. He just looked around thinking, who said that? Since nobody responded, he just picked up the other ones, which weren't hot, so he just thought, okay, that's a bit weird. Oh well, and placed everything in his bag and went home. At home, he just kind of left them in his bag for a bit and just kept looking at his books on anatomy and medicine. And afterward, he decided to take out the stones to basically just examine them, since he does have, well, basically what a doctor would need. Basic stuff that didn't cost that much, but like, um, he has a, how are they called? Microscope. He does has needle, stuff like that, which he doesn't really use for um, drawing blood or putting medicine in someone, but he does use it to basically take stuff, put it under the microscope, and look at them. And Izuku basically grabs one of this, well, the piece of the meteorite, breaks a small piece of it, and puts it under the microscope, and all he sees is basically normal minerals like rock, a little bit of iron, and stuff like that, and just thinks, well, basically, he's looking on his computer to see what meteorites are normally composed of and what it looks like under a microscope. And he basically sees everything that's in it. And then he's thinking, what about the stones? He grabs one of them and put it under the microscope and looks at it, basically trying to see like how it's made a bit further down from what you can see with normal, well, just by your looking at it. And it basically just looks like a gem. Then he remembers what he heard when he took the green one. Put me to your chest. He grabbed it from the microscope and basically just kind of placed it near his chest, thinking what could happen. And when doing that, he felt a sharp pain. He let go of the stone and because he thought it would just fall, but he saw that it wasn't falling and that it was basically entering his chest, hurting a lot. He tried to remove it, but he wasn't able, all the way up until he had a hole in his shirt and that his chest looked normal except with a small little bump where it was. When it stops hurting, he basically just feels tired and goes to sleep. The next day he's going to school and he doesn't really think about it. He eats breakfast, he leaves, and He just sees, well, just before leaving, his mom tells him that he's going to be late, that he should hurry, and he starts running. He runs all the way to school and basically just feels normal, as if he didn't even break a sweat, which he didn't. He, he ran like normal, just a bit faster than normal, in fact. Which normally, when he goes that fast, he breaks a sweat and is exhausted getting to school. But he wasn't. While he was in school, basically nobody except Bakugo and two other kids were still trying to bully him about him not having a quirk, with Izuku not caring at all about it. And so Izuku just tells Bakugo to shut it since he's actually more intelligent than him and that he should be 2 grades higher. He just decided to stay here because it's going to be easier for him to advance at a normal level if he does, which kind of shot Bakugo up because he does call Izuku a nerd, but he gets 100 on everything that he does for tests and stuff like that. So yeah, he does still think. Sorry about that. He still thinks Izuku's a nerd, even though they have practically the same. Well, basically, both of them always have straight A's, 100% on every test that they do. So, basically, Bakugo does shut up about it for that day, while the two others still bugs him, which, for some reason, does bug Izuku more than usual. And he doesn't know why. Over the next months, basically every day, he seemed to have more and more energy and being able to run faster, faster, and faster, as well as every day having a bit more strength. He just chalked it up to, oh, his body finally starts to, well, first, no, he just thinks that his body's just getting the strength and speed from previous training and just stop thinking about the stone. He knows it's there, but all he's thinking is, okay, yeah, it must have been something like someone's quirk or something, and basically he just wanted to pull a prank on me or on someone, and well, basically he thinks that someone can set conditions, and when those are met, something happens, which is what he decides. And basically, he thought Izuku was thinking that this is what happened. Someone decided to put a condition on the stone, well, multiple, for something to happen, just to basically hurt someone. And he doesn't really think about it. But 1 month after the stone fused with him, he hears someone asking well, Izuku's trying to do something, and all he's getting annoyed about it and basically just tells it out loud. How the hell am I supposed to do that? Basically, let's say it's just like something like a Rubik's Cube, but with more than just 3 by 3, let's say like 11 by 11, and he's having trouble, and just hears something in his mind saying, "Why are you doing something like this?" Which Izuku looks around thinking and said, "Who talked?" Which the stone says, "Oh, hello, my name is Emerald. I am the stone that is fused with you." Which Izuku basically freaks out because, what the hell? which Emerald basically says, "A month ago, you accepted what I asked you, and you placed me on your chest. My condition were if you accept the fusement with me, I give you the powers that I have. Don't you remember?" Which Izuku basically just thinks, wait, but all I heard was put me to your chest. Which just Stone heard and said, interesting. Well, I'm happy that that you allowed me to fuse with you. Where are my brethrens? I was asleep after we fused. Which Izuku just took out a box and kind of said, there, opening it, and the two others are in it, with Emerald saying, ah, good. I am happy. Sorry about that. I am happy that you kept them safe. Then Izuku asked, what did you mean by give me power if I fuse with you? Which the stone said, well, Emerald said, ah, yes. Me and my brethren are unique. We were alive a long time ago. Well, no, we lived on a certain planet a long time ago, worshipped as God. The problem is that we are not. That planet was destroyed after a conflict erupted, and we were sent through space. The problem is that our strength and energy was used during that war and destroyed the entire planet as well as taking away all of our energy. All I had enough was to tell someone that was compatible with me and to ask him to fuse. You were the chosen one. Which Izuku does feel a bit happy, but at the same time weirded out, and asks, so what are the powers that I will have? Which Emerald says, it depends. The moment you fused with me, we became bonded forever. As long as I exist, you will exist. So it will take a while for you to get most powers, but you will start with speed, strength, and specific type of intelligence. Which Izuku is surprised to hear, and then asks the stone, so your name is Emerald? Which is Emerald respond, yes, Emerald, I am one of the three powers, Omega Stones. Our powers are vast. Which Izuku then asked, so do all of you talk like that? Or which Emerald responded, no. Actually, this is the only voice I am able to muster right now. Normally, I speak differently. The energy I have right now is just high enough for me to talk like this. Because I wanted to tell you about your powers so that you could start training. I do. While you were doing everything and that I was asleep, I was looking through your memory about what you wanted to do. I saw your dream of becoming a hero, and I think I can help you with that. Which Izuku gets interested, and ask him, so what? I will get my powers once you start getting more energy? Which Emerald says, no, you already are starting to get them. Just not as fast as you should have. Since I was out of energy, it was slower. Once everything will be okay, I will stop talking like this and talk in a more common manner. I am in a way that your people talk normally. Right now, this is how the last planet where we were talking. None of them fused with us, but they did give us bodies that would let us talk and speak with them. And this is how they made us talk. So, how will. So, what would you want to do? Become a hero or simply want as a doctor? Which Izuku basically said, if I can be a hero, I want to be one. I want to help everyone in the every way that I can. So if I do get powers, I want to be a hero. Which Emerald basically says, good. Then I will go back to sleep and let you start getting your powers. You will need to train to get them. But after a bit, you should be able to control some of the more natural abilities. And he basically goes to sleep. Izuku is thinking, so I'm gonna get quirks. Then I can finally be a hero like All Might. That's awesome! Basically starting to be really happy because he just learned that what he did basically firstly saved probably all three of them from getting taken by villains, and then the stones becoming extremely powerful and destroying the world again. And he decided to keep them safe. And by safe, I mean extremely safe. He decided to find a way to get money to buy a safe, or a, well, not a big safe, but something just big enough to keep them always on him. And that would be hard to basically open or take away from him. So, during the next month, basically, he kept the stone always in his drawer and locked. Basically, so that his mom wouldn't open it, find the stones, and try something. He doesn't know what she would try, but at the same time, he's not sure of what could happen. So, yeah, sorry, I had to pause for a bit. Um, yeah, so after Izuku basically learned about what Emerald said, about him getting powers and stuff like that. Sorry if I talk a little well, low. Um, so Izuku is basically going to start thinking of a costume or something like that now because he can be a hero, and that doesn't mean he cannot as keep going for a well to try and be a doctor or a medic only to basically help for normal injuries when he's doing hero work. So after basically like well no just the next day or the next day of school basically he basically starts thinking about it, and he does realize that for every day he started feeling stronger and faster but never using it. So then one of the three that bullied him, except Bakugo, well, if I don't count Bakugo, basically came to try and bully Deku while they were outside, and one of the teachers saw it, and it was a suppliant. Well, no, let's say it was a hero that basically someone insulting another kid, well, a kid insulting another kid, and was basically going to tell him to stop. And Izuku just grabbed the tree and said, "Look, I don't really care about this. Can you stop right now?" And just kind of crushed it. Just kind of saying, "I'm stronger than you." Which basically Bakugo saw and was like, "What the hell?" With the hero basically just thinking, "Oh shit, a fight's going to happen. I need to stop it." Which, well, Bakugo basically went to Deku and asked, "What the hell was that?" With Izuku telling him, "What, you never saw that I was training?" Which Bakugo kind of said, "Yeah, but to that point, what was it?" With Deku saying, well, deciding to lie and said, I was told I would never get a quirk. I found out that it was false." With Bakugo basically telling him, "What?" "About a month and a half ago, something happened." Basically, the hero's hearing it. Oh yeah, also the hero's All Might in his skinny form. I should mention that. And, um, basically he heard what the kid was saying, and basically what Izuku said is, a little over a month ago, um, someone accidentally activated his quirk, and instead of hurting me, which he asked me if I was okay, I almost didn't feel a thing. And for the first time, and when he came to basically grab my hand to help me lift up, well, to lift me up, he said that I had a strong grip, that I was lucky to have something like super strength there, because if not, I would have probably died. Well, no, not probably die, but probably be really hurt. Which Bakugo said, "What?" Which Izuku said, "Yeah, I don't know what happened to me, but I'm stronger and faster. My quirk activated. I don't know what I'm going to get more out of it, but for now it looks like a strength quirk. If you still want to bully me, try it. See what happens. But unless you throw a punch at me, I won't do anything to you." And basically left, which All Might was really surprised by what he said, because it sounded as if they were bullying him multiple times already, and that since he got his quirk, it didn't change, and that he didn't tell anyone. So All Might was thinking this kid had enough will and concentration to not harm the people that bullied him over his childhood for being quirkless the moment he got his quirk. This kid would make a great hero. But he didn't think that he should take one for all. Because no one for all is not going to him. Hell nah. God, Izuku's going to be OP in this one. Mostly because the Omega Stones basically grow the more you train, and at an extreme rate. Like, you have no idea how fast he's going to get. So, Izuku basically, after that, stopped being bullied, because Bakugo just kind of saw that he he just told us that he had a quirk for a while. We still bullied him, but he didn't do anything to us, when he could have just probably thrown us through the walls of the school, but he didn't do anything. basically just reacted in the way of, what the hell were we doing? Why were we so dumb? That kid, Deku, had enough, was good enough to not attack us once he got his quirk. But we kept doing anything we wanted to him just because we thought he was quirkless. So he does realize that he was bad doing that. He didn't realize it enough to stop doing it to others, but he just was a bit less harsh on people. So a bit a bit of time passes. Basically, everyone at school asked Izuku what he was capable of doing, and Izuku showed them that basically he could lift someone easily, and they changed on his all where they say what quirk he has. He basically changed it to super strength, super body, because he has increased strength, speed, resistance, and yeah. At some point, he started looking at a martial art video. Well, no, a martial art competition. And for some reason, he felt as if his body was changing for every move he was looking at. Everything that he was looking at basically felt as if his body was changing just a tad, but just enough to be felt. The next day at school, someone basically asked Deku if he could fight him, which for some reason Izuku automatically took the stand of the better fighter in the competition, which everyone looked at him funny. And the moment it started, he used basically he punched the same way the guy did, with almost as much power as the guy did. Basically, the guy in the competition had um, a strength quirk that basically acted like you place your arm in a certain position, and then you just kind of, the more stress you put on your arm, the stronger it's going to get when you unleash it. And Izuku almost punched with the same amount of strength and basically threw the guy to a wall. Well, basically it was Bakugo. I wanted it to be one of the other bullies, but no. Bakugo asked him to fight to see how strong he was. And basically, Bakugo just kind of reacted in a way that nobody saw it coming. He was just laughing because Izuku seemed to be holding back when he gave the hit, which he was, for good reasons. He just wanted to see how strong he was when he wasn't using his full strength. And Bakugo was just laughing as if he was crazy. Everyone thought he was going to attack Deku, but he didn't. He got up and said, "Okay, yeah, you won." And basically started walking, saying, "I think you almost broke one of my ribs." And just kind of went in the school to the nurse, because, well, if Deku did, it could be bad. So, after a bit, Emerald woke up and instead of talking like Jarvis, he started talking like, well, a human would. Well, a normal human would. So when Emerald woke up, he basically told Izuku, "Hey, I'm awake." how are you? So, what did you do while I was asleep? With Izuku being startled because he wasn't ready for a change of voice like that. Oh yeah, also, he did find a way to get a bit of money, taking a small job, basically just like a cashier or something in a place, and he was starting to basically keep money, all of the money to buy something to keep the stones on him at all time. And Emerald basically asked him, "So, you still want to be a hero, right?" Which Izuku says, "Yeah." And Emerald asked him, "So, do you have a costume idea?" Or, which Izuku said, I still need 4 years before I go to a hero school." Which Emerald said, "Oh, right, I forgot that. Sorry, but still, you will need a hero suit and a hero name." Which Deku just thinks, well, I was always bullied under the name Deku, but the way I found to not let it bother me was that it had two meanings. So I basically just might call myself Deku for my hero name. Which Emerald basically looked at Izuku's memory to see both meaning, and he sees the good one and thinks, good choice. And so Emerald asks him for the costume, and Izuku says, I might do one later, but for now I'm just going to ask you, what are my powers, or what will I be able to do? Which Emerald says, everything. Which Izuku doesn't get. He asks him, what do you mean by everything? Which Emerald responds, well, the way we work is that at first, the people that will bond with us forever will get certain powers, with or without training. Afterward, with training, or depending on what happens to you, you will get more powers and get stronger. So, what you have to start with, well, that you will get to start with or without training, is a lot of strength, a lot of speed, an extremely good defense. You will be able to control, manipulate, and transform, uh, create, manipulate. No, he is able to control and become plants, dirt, rocks, and minerals, basically, so he could turn himself into metal or basically a gem. So, like, he can turn himself into diamond and basically take a hit from someone that has a piercing or cutting type of quirk and basically take no damage at all. He could turn into a plant and or control them, which Izuku then says, "So this is what my quirks are going to be." Which Emerald says, "At first, yes. Later, you will get more, depending on the training you do. And if you continue to look at all that you're already studying, you will probably get healing very soon." Which Izuku is happy to hear, since if he does get that, he will be able to help people and heal them. The thing with the healing is that um, it will be good and it will increase with time and with training over that, but at first it's not going to be like the best thing ever. Then Emerald tells him, oh yes, also, you're going to get something with your intelligence. You will be able to look at any fighting style, motion, anything like that, and your body is going to be able to replicate it perfectly. Um, I should probably say this is probably taken from Taskmaster because basically the guy who made those stones is a guy that I knew in one of the school I went to, and he made fan fiction of those, of Marvel or DC, I don't remember. It might even be both, where he basically created the stones and made comics with those in them. And yeah, so I'm pretty sure to make that specific thing, basically the intelligence is boosted so that there's no limit to what you can remember. The problem is that you have to remember them. Um, Basically, Taskmaster, his power is that, well, the only power he has truly is um, to see any movement and be able to replicate it perfectly. Like Taskmaster learned how to do um, something that an Olympic diver can do, but when he replicated it, he almost died because he didn't learn how to swim. Funny enough. But yeah, Deku basically has that ability, but with no limit to what he can learn. So, Izuku is really happy to know all that, which Emerald tell him that if he wants to get more, he should train, which Izuku does. So, for the next, well, almost for a year, all the way up until just before the 10 months of training, Izuku trained, but was mostly doing his medical studies. He became able to use healing, which at some point he used on someone at school. Um, he did show some of his powers, basically controlling plant, dirt, rocks, whatever, as well as his strength. Basically, if I remember correctly, he can lift. What was it? Be right back. I don't remember if it was 300 pounds or 300 tons. I'm pretty sure it was tons, but yeah. He can run at 200 kilometers an hour pretty easily. Like, with 4 years of almost no training, he can do that. He can lift 300 tons. Um, he has the normal power that I said before. He gained healing, as well as basically Bakugo trying to fight him a lot, and he gained a resistance to fire, as well as learning that he could regenerate, and um, yeah. So basically, when the teacher looked at who was going to UA, nobody was surprised that Bakugo and Izuku were going. Oh yeah, by this point, everyone in school knows. His mom knows. Basically, he told the same lie, which she got a bit scared for him, but still. And so when this for the Slaughterland attack, Yeah, basically what happened is the Slash villain tried to enter in his body. He turned into plants and basically just didn't get affected. All Might pushed the sludge away. Izuku was fine. He even helped All Might put the sludge in the bottles. And when All Might was about to leave, after signing his notebook, Izuku just asked him if he could be a hero, which All Might remembers Deku because he looks exactly the same, just a bit taller than the kid that he saw previously. Really just saying that he was extremely strong and that he might have a lot more powers into him. And All Might told him, "You should be perfectly fine," and left. So Bakugo is not attacked. Well, yeah, as well. Izuku, what he did for the stones is he has a watch made of a metal extremely dense. Basically, he went to a specific, well, a place where they make special, um, like you can ask them to make watches, rings, stuff like that. And he asked for a watch that would work normally, but have a compartment where basically showing the two stones where those could enter, which he gave the size of them. He asked the person to make it as well as strong as possible, as long as it doesn't exceed about 1 ton of weight. Basically, the reason he said that is because the guy that, well, the boss of the shop has a quirk that is that he can compress metal. Well, not compress metal, but increase the density of them, as well as the toughness and the weight. So the guy basically made him the watch, and basically practically nothing can pass through it. He said to Deku that he's sorry it's about 2 tons, but for the strength he asked, that's the best that he could do, which the guy said, so who are you going to prank with that? Which Izuku basically just lifted up easily, which the guy was like, what the hell? Basically, what the guy had done is that he placed it on the counter, basically asked Deku how he was going to transport it, then augmented the weight, and then Izuku just grabbed it, paid him, and said, "Oh, it's for me." Placed it on his wrist and popped the stones into it. So he constantly has the stone on him in a watch that has a combination to open it, as well as the watch basically being almost unbreakable and weighing 2 tons. So anyone that he fights basically would try to lift him and probably not be able to because of the 2 ton weight he has on his arm. So it's basically a constant training on his arm where he keeps the stone 24/7. So yeah, Izuku, just before the 10 months training, met All Might, was extremely happy to hear that he could be a hero. He already knew it, but he was happy anyway. And so, what he decided to do was to train everything that he could already do with his quote unquote quirk. Basically, with Emerald, he basically taught Emerald that, okay, yeah, I'm going to call my abilities quirks since it's basically the only thing that we call it here, which Emerald was okay with because, well, yeah, it's what you call powers in this world. Well, on this world. And so, over time, the quirk, well, in his document where it is quirk, it is said, well, basically there's what he knows he has, and it is also written and will gain more. So yeah, I think the applications are already put for UA. They just check over them and then everyone comes. And during the 10 months of training, basically he trained every ability he had, and what he gained was basically he didn't train strength, speed, or anything like that. All he trained was basically his capacity to control and to transform into elements, as well as learn as many fighting style as he could. So, the UA entrance exam is going to be in the next part, because this is part 0. Hope you liked it. I really wanted to do that for a while, but I didn't know how to start it. So, if you have any, um, well, if you want to do any ships for deku, like Izuku and a girl in class 1A, or anyone actually, put it in the comment section. If you want, well, Izuku to give one of the two others to someone else in class 1A, tell me in the comment. Or even if you want me to give one of the stones to other people, because there is one that I already know who is going to. I'm not saying which, and I'm not saying to who. So, yeah. If you have any idea for new what ifs, just put it in the comment section as well. Hope you liked it. Natsu, out.